Hello, and welcome to GC360, where news comes full circle. I'm Deanna Hamilton.
And I'm Michael Warwick. On today's episode of GC360,
gangs in Milledgeville, the consequences are devastating and include the recruiting of children as young as 12 years old.
On a brighter note, a new sport has come to Georgia College, speedball.
And then, Greek Week is upon us, which means the GC step teams are preparing for battle.
All this and more on this edition of GC360 News. We begin today with the tragic loss of a bobcat. Students awoke Monday morning to the devastating news that GC student Lauren Gainey had passed away. GC360 producer Joby Peoples has an update for us.
Monday morning, April 13th, students awoke to the tragic news that GC student Lauren Gainey had passed away. At 6:49 a.m., the emergency button was pressed in Gainey's room by her roommate after she found Gainey outside their apartment door and attempted to give her CPR. Gainey was pronounced dead at 7:40 a.m. In an email to students Wednesday, Vice President for Student Affairs, Dr. Bruce Harshbarger, stated that Gainey died of, quote, natural causes. In a previous email to students sent Monday morning, Dr. Harshbarger wrote, "The Georgia College community extends our most heartfelt condolences to Lauren's family members and friends. On a close-knit campus such as ours, a tragic loss such as this impacts many members of the campus community." Gainey was involved in several organizations at Georgia College, including the Chemistry Club. Professor Katrina Lisi describes Gainey's impact on not only the Chemistry Club, but GC as a whole.
She was proud to be a chemistry major, and she was just a huge role model for so many people, and just such a sweet person.
When the news of Gainey's death was announced, GC students were deeply moved by this tragedy.
I know that chemistry club students have been placing notes in a jar in our student lounge of their favorite memory of Lauren, and we want to give that to her parents so that they can see how much she meant to us.
Gainey's funeral was held this afternoon at First Baptist Church in her hometown of Peachtree City. Next week, the GC Chemistry Club will be holding a candlelight vigil service on front campus in Gainey's honor. The details of that will be sent to students as soon as plans are finalized. GC360 will also be relaying those details as they come in. I'm Joby Peoples, reporting for GC360.
Many Georgia College students have taken to social media to share their condolences for Lauren Gainey and her family. Student Mallory Helms said, "Praying for the family of Lauren Gainey, a fellow Bobcat that passed away this morning," ending the hashtag with GCFam. Student Devin Stewart said, "Rest in peace to this innocent soul. Lauren Gainey joined some angels today." And student Ainsley Landsman said, "I did not personally know the female student that died today at GC, but my thoughts go out to her and her friends and family." Lauren's funeral was this afternoon in Peachtree City.
Her family says that in lieu of flowers, Lauren would want people to continue to support her passion for helping others and donating to Save the Children at www.savethechildren.org. Sad news. I can't imagine what that family had to go through.
I know.
On such a tragic thing.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things about her. So
I never really got the chance to know her, but I knew just from hearing things that she was a super sweet girl, quiet, but nobody had a bad thing to say about her. So
that's awesome. Georgia College undergraduate students can expect an increase in tuition fees next semester. This Tuesday, the Board of Regents of the University of Georgia system decided on a 3% increase of Georgia College students. the 0.5% above the normal increase. Tuition will go up at 30 public universities in Georgia. The 2015-2016 school year, which is the highest increase, and it will be applied to Atlanta Metropolitan State College, Georgia Institute of Technology, and Middle Georgia State University, and the University of Georgia. According to the Board of Regents, more money is needed to balance investments in faculty and academics.
A Georgia College student organization is now offering free language courses to the community of Milledgeville. The program offers Spanish, French, and Arabic as part of its curriculum. Interestingly enough, both the Spanish and the French courses are taught exclusively by GC students who are native speakers of those languages. Arabic, on the other hand, is taught by Dr. Larbi Okada, the chair of the Department of Modern Languages and Cultures. Lingua is a grant-funded project whose goal is to establish a lasting partnership between the Milledgeville Public Library and the Georgia College Department of Modern Languages and Cultures. Currently, the courses last an average of 6 weeks. However, the department is planning to expand and solidify the program over the next 3 semesters.
Milledgeville may seem serene on the surface, but looks can be deceiving. GC360's Jenna Howard and her team investigate gang activity right here in Milledgeville.
Bloods and gangster disciples, 2 rival local gangs, leave their mark on Milledgeville. Drugs are a source of income and students are a targeted market.
I would certainly think that college students are a market for them. And so that's why on Thursday nights you will certainly see some downtown. And that's certainly why we put out our downtown detail. It's kind of discourage that.
According to police, Bloods are even divided within. Body Project Bloods rival Harrisburg Bloods. Police monitor for gang activity in these areas and in other housing authority areas, including Graham Homes on the north side and Jefferson Street.
This is not Atlanta. Yeah. Obviously, there's not going to be the same, and the numbers of different sets and gangs that are around. But it is not also, it's not Mayberry either.
According to the National Gang Center, smaller cities like Milledgeville account for 27.1% of gang distribution nationwide. Children as young as 12 even become involved, Major Davis says.
The deal now is that more and more are younger kids, and they're doing residential burglaries. They're fighting dogs, anything like a buck.
The Milledgeville Police Department aims to diminish gang influence through a middle school program called GREAT, Gang Resistance, Education, and Training.
We're dealing with 6th graders. That's about the time that they start getting interested in that. They see their older brothers, or they see neighborhood people who are now making money. Mostly by the time they get to the adults, they're somewhere incarcerated or they've got a lengthy criminal history. And then those type guys, they start moving out of that lifestyle. They're tired of going to jail.
We will take a deeper look at gang recruitment and what the community is doing in the week to come. This is Jenna Howard reporting for GC360.
How often do you walk a 5K instead of run it? For those participating in the past weekend's event, walking a 5K was the only way to go. Walk MS is an annual event raising awareness for those with multiple sclerosis. We spoke to Erin Patrick, student and event coordinator, about Saturday's event.
It raises awareness about multiple sclerosis, and it also raises money for multiple sclerosis for people, resources, medical resources, as well as scholarship funds for people with MS, things like that. And this is the Georgia chapter, so they do walks in Macon and Atlanta and Savannah and places like that. To raise money, we did.
The Spectrum PR team here at Georgia College worked on the event, having a sports game day theme. The 5K walk was a hit. About 150 to 200 people showed up to take part in the event. Most were living with MS or were supporting a loved one with MS. Overall, Walk MS Macon raised $15,365.
On that note, our sports report is up next.
We'll focus on the need for speed. Yes, there's a sport called speedball at Georgia College. We'll tell you all about it.
I think someone at my friend's school has this thing called autism. My friend's brother's son has autism. My neighbor's son has autism. My son has autism.
Autism is getting closer to home. Today, 1 in 68 children is diagnosed with autism. That's about a 30% increase in 2 years. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
What if you could invest in the future of kids, like a stock? Not the kind of stock that's about making money, but a stock for social change. A whole new kind of investment called Better Futures. When you invest, it helps kids go to college. Believe in us, invest in us, watch us grow.
My name is Sydney, and I'm your dividend.
Welcome back to GC360 News. We're here with Kelly for our weekly sports update. What do you have for us?
Hey, Michael. Well, we've had a really exciting week this week with sports here in Milledgeville. We had some pretty cool stuff going on at Georgia Military College and here at Georgia College as well. And we also have that interesting new sport that you mentioned earlier that we're going to be talking about. So, well, follow me. We'll go take a look.
Welcome to GC360 Sports. I'm Cole Rogers.
I'm KJ Sinclair.
Let's get started.
Georgia Military College's softball team was back in action this past weekend as they hosted a doubleheader against West Georgia Tech, where the Bulldogs pulled out 2 wins, 9-1 and 8-2.
Georgia College's men's and women's tennis teams were also swinging back in action this past Saturday as they hosted Georgia Southwestern State University at the Centennial Center tennis courts.
The men's team beat the Hurricanes 8-1, bringing the Bobcats to a 10-7 record so far this season. The women's match was just as successful, and the team pulled out their 7th straight win against Georgia Southwestern. The Lady Bobcats even managed to make the match a shutout, winning against the Hurricanes 9-0.
Georgia College's softball team also had an exciting weekend. The team played a doubleheader Sunday against the USC Aiken Pacers. The first game was a close one, but the Bobcats won by a nail-biting 3-2 score. Then into the next game, the Lady Bobcats got their momentum going and scored 8 runs in the first 2 innings and won the game with a score of 9-0.
A sport like never before has established itself here at Georgia College. Reporter Will Dodgen caught up with GC's own speedball team.
It's soccer. With your hands? Speedball is a student-run club sport at Georgia College that requires the endurance of soccer but the physicality of football. Georgia College is one of only 4 schools that have speedball team in the state of Georgia. This unique sport was brought to Georgia College by upperclassman Lou Schreckenberger.
I actually started it here about a year ago. I have a friend at Kennesaw who started one there, and honestly he just asked me if I wanted to start here, and I said, yeah, sure, why not? It'd be pretty fun. And I was just asking people around campus if they wanted to come out and try this sport out, and luckily it turned out well.
As a spectator, it seems very complicated, not only having to use your hands, but your feet as well. So how exactly do you play speedball?
I think the hardest part of speedball is definitely getting to know all the rules. It's a lot different from any other sport you've ever played. And it's so competitive, and everyone's an athlete out there, so I mean, it's a grind every day to play.
Speedball is a mixture of a bunch of different sports, mostly handball, football, and soccer. The handball aspect is you're running around with the ball in your hand, throwing it to your teammates. Football, you have to score a touchdown, And then soccer, you have to use your feet to get the ball up if it touches the ground.
Team sports tend to form a special bond between the members of the team. Speedball is no different.
Absolutely. A lot of these guys I'd never met before, but for sure now that after playing speedball for just 2 years, they're some of my best friends for sure. We're out here 3 times a week, spending a lot of time together on the weekends as well. So, yeah, a lot of friends are made for sure.
Although this is only the second year of the club's existence, they seem to be taking to the competition fairly well.
There's 3 other teams that we play against. We play against Georgia Gwinnett College, Georgia Tech, and Kennesaw State.
We weren't very good to start. We were pretty terrible. But this year, we put a lot of practice in, and all the guys come out, and we came out and we beat Georgia Tech for the first game, and we're 2-0 and we're undefeated. So it's pretty great, and everyone's having a lot more fun now. It's a lot more fun to play for sure.
Speedball is a young sport here at Georgia College, but the Bobcats seem to be taking well to the competition. This is Will Dodgen reporting for GC360.
Coming up after the break, they practice for months and they fight on despite injuries. Greek Week is here and the most competitive event draws closer every day. GC360 went backstage to check out the training for this year's step dance competition.
All right, that's your best.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
Good. Homemade noodles. Oh. Marty, stop it. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. It reminds me, I've been thinking maybe we should try a new form of birth control. I heard about this one, it's called the IUD, intrauterine device. Or we could try the patch on your arm. Actually, I think that one goes on your butt.
Bedsider.org has birth control information and a lot more. And it's...
What do you think then? Arm or the butt?
Thank you, dear. Well, you're very supple, just like I was at your age. Back then, I was a sex expert. Used to call me the buttered biscuit. I know about birth control, too. So you can ask me anything, baby.
Bedsider.org has birth control information and a lot more. And it's...
Have you had sex in this car yet?
To think about the Achievement Program. By taking certain rhetoric courses, the students are trained as coaches for students in Baldwin County classroom. Coaches teach younger students the importance of civic duty and helping the community. They often participate in team building projects and activities to demonstrate the importance of community involvement. Created by the Center of Democracy and Citizenship at Augsburg College, the Public Achievement Initiative aims to teach young students to have serious impact on the problems in their schools and neighborhoods.
Milledgeville has set out to fight childhood obesity. According to the Union Recorder, the group Baldwin Family Connection recently received a $5,000 grant to purchase bikes for local students and a trailer to keep them in, although it is currently unclear where the trailer will be located. The County Parks and Recreation Department will help manage the program.
And now on to something completely different. GC's annual step dance competition will be upon us soon. Our reporter Katie Souther got a sneak peek at the training programs.
With Greek Week quickly approaching, the Georgia College sorority step teams are in high gear. The sororities that are competing include Alpha Delta Pi, Alpha Omega Cron Pi, Delta Zeta, Kappa Delta, Phi Mu, and Zeta Tau Alpha. For the teams to be ready for the competition in April, they start practicing in October.
I tend to practice 3 times a week for 2 hours. And then the week before show, we do 2-a-days. So we have 6 a.m.s and then 8 o'clock at night every day of the week when it's crunch time.
This year, there's a new chapter competing in the step competition. It's AO Pi. According to Captain Emily Zelox, there have been some challenges along the way.
This experience has been amazing. Yes, it was definitely a roller coaster ride and some bumps along the way, but it's been wonderful bonding with the girls, and we've just been closer since the start of step.
The not-so-new reigning champs, AD Pi, are eager for next week's competition. Senior and captain Hillary Woodall shares with GC360 her favorite experience from last year.
It's really easy to underestimate your potential when you're doing something for 6 months over and over again. You get really tired of it, and then when you go on stage and do it for the audience, and then to be like awarded first place, I mean, it's just the coolest feeling ever, and you feel like everything, all the nights and mornings that you gave up were like totally worth it.
No matter the sorority, many girls stated that they have gained friends that they might have not had if they wouldn't have joined STEP.
I've definitely gained friends that I maybe wouldn't have hung out with. I've gained confidence, with being on stage.
But don't underestimate these girls. STEP can be rough.
Oh, definitely injuries. I mean, when I first started stepping my freshman year, when I wasn't used to it, my fingers would swell. You get bruises on your sides from slapping. Your feet kill you if you don't wear the right kind of shoes. No one ugly allowed.
So come out this Sunday, April 19th at 6 p.m. in the Centennial Center and cheer on these tough girls. This is Katie Souther reporting with GC360.
Coming up next, we delve into the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
A Georgia College lecturer has just published a book that sheds light on the new subject. We'll hear from author Pate McMichael after the break.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
If you want to be a parent, it doesn't matter how you play, what you wear, how you dance, or even what direction life takes you. You just need to be there. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care don't need perfection. They just need you.
Can you help me with this? My new dad teaches me all kinds of stuff.
Sure.
He helps me with homework.
That would be 3.6795.
Thanks.
Yep.
He helps me with my decision making.
I wouldn't use this one. Ever.
And he's even teaching me how to drive.
And that's why cars have bumpers.
I'm learning so much.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
Welcome to GC360 Entertainment. I'm Veronica Ulisny. Clandestine, a new book written by GC lecturer Pate McMichael, dives deep into the murder of Martin Luther King Jr. in 1968. On Wednesday evening, McMichael held a question and answer session at the Sally Ellis Davis House, and GC360's Alex Mason caught up with the author himself.
On April 4th, 1968, in Memphis, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was killed by a single bullet. James Earl Ray was identified as the lone assassin, but conspiracy theories have long circulated. Georgia College professor Pate McMichael has just published a book titled Clandestine that argues Ray in fact murdered Dr. King all by himself. The book was 9 years in the making.
About the
assassination of Martin Luther King Jr., an untold story about how the killer of Dr. King, a guy named James Earl Ray, an escaped convict, how he made a partnership, publishing partnership, with a lawyer and a journalist.
In the book, there are 3 concrete pieces of evidence that prove Ray murdered King. A Mustang, a map, and a laundry receipt tell it all. On Wednesday evening, McMichael presented his book to the public at his first book signing in Milledgeville. Georgia College students, faculty, and Milledgeville residents attended the event. McMichael left Georgia College last year to focus on finalizing his book, but was called back into work at GC in the midst of this semester.
I think I would buy it. It was interesting to see him talk about it, so yeah, it sounded good.
He is a mass communication professor teaching law and ethics courses. McMichael's book can relate to discussions in the courses that he teaches.
I would love to share this with students. It would be a great book for law because there were a number of libel issues related to the publication of this conspiracy theory.
McMichael is now working on his second book and other side journalism projects. He strives to keep being a dedicated writer. I'm Alex Mason reporting for GC 360.
Last but not least, we are right in the middle of Greek Week, but we're able to steal FIMU's Catherine Avery from practice for a few minutes. Welcome to GC 360, Catherine.
Thanks for having me.
So tell us and our viewers a little bit about what Greek Week is.
Greek Week is a week-long competition between all the different Greek organizations that we have, and we basically just compete in a bunch of different events, whether they're sports or games, or we even do like a couple of different charity events throughout the week. And at the end of the week, we just kind of, whoever wins the most events will win Greek Week overall.
It's a little friendly competition, never hurt anybody. So have you participated in any events this week?
Yeah, I actually did Family Feud on Monday, and that was a lot of fun. It was really similar to the TV show. We just had like the Wii game, and you know, you get a category and everybody plays, and it was a lot of fun. I love the show, so it was a good time.
That's awesome. So what do you think has been your favorite Greek Week memory so far?
I would probably have to say 2 years ago we did an event called Can Serve, and we made these really cool constructions out of a bunch of different cans, and it was just fun to see like what everybody did with it. And then at the end we donated those cans to the food pantry in Milledgeville, so it was a good way to give back to the community, so I really enjoyed that one a lot.
Service is a good way to give back. So tell me, what was your favorite event to watch during Greek Week?
Definitely Tug. Tug is probably the most competitive event that we do have. Everybody gets really into it, and you just got to bring your A game, and it's a lot of fun to watch, so definitely Tug.
That's awesome. So do you guys, how do you feel about the standings for this week? How's everything going so far?
Oh gosh, I think it's hard to tell this year kind of where we stand. I know in years past it was kind of on a point system, and they changed a lot of the dynamics and things that we're doing this year. I know that this year it's kind of based off of percentages and stuff, so we don't really know the standings as it is. I think everybody just kind of has to give it their all and do their best and see what happens.
Well, that'll be awesome to see the standings coming out. So thank you guys for tuning in to GC 360 Entertainment. That's all for this week. I'm Veronica Ulisny. Now back to Deanna and Michael.
That's it for us at GC 360, and next week we'll check out Milledgeville's very own film festival.
Check out our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram for the latest updates. Thanks for watching. I'm Michael Warwick.
And I'm Deanna Hamilton. And now everyone is going to sing me happy birthday.
Hey, come on.
Happy
birthday to you.
Thank you.
Happy birthday to you.